always pushed me to act in ways that just validated his shitty opinion. But I was not letting my emotions govern me today. I had enough to worry about with this purchase. My two brothers, the two other leaders of our house's run, had not been very receptive to the idea of adding adult toys to our run. Our house, one of the 6 charged with distributing toys for children in the Southern Hemisphere, was the oldest and most traditional in the Magi realm. Our father, before he passed, struggled to innovate. While all the other houses had made strides to modernize, we were stuck in a rut. Since I came on to the toy run, I'd managed to cajole my brothers into trying new things. I knew that this trip would be my only chance to shake things up. This toy maker, these products, had to be perfect, or they'd use any excuse to nix the other ideas I'd been proposing to drag us out of the Middle Ages. It was also very true that there had been a scary threat made. After my brothers had announced to the heads of all the houses in the Magi realm that I would officially be one of the team leaders of our family's run. You would think they were intending to blow up the whole thing, with the way these Magi whined about having a girl in their midst. And even though I would never admit it to Rhyne, it had been pretty terrifying when my brothers had played the message the person left. I also didn't need to get into an argument with him, my brother's best friend, who would probably report back that I was a spoiled brat who didn't take threats on my life seriously. I did take them very seriously. I just hated being handled. First by my overbearing brothers, and now by him. I wish he would at least consult me on his plan to keep me safe, but every time I'd tried asking him, he'd shut me out. It was irritating as fuck. Which was why I was acting out. And I had to admit, my revenge plan of torturing him by making him watch me fondle dildos and butt plugs so far was not very satisfying. Not that one could tell from looking at him. The only telltale sign he wasn't as unbothered to be alone with me in a room that screamed cheerful depravity was the frown line right between his eyes, and the barely there flush on his cheeks. But I had other ways of pushing his buttons. It's funny how you have a whole squad of run guardians, but decided to personally come to this sex toy purchase with me. I made a point of wearing a bedazzled cock ring on my ring finger. It's almost like you want to be my keeper, Captain Carrasco. With the naughty ring still on my hand, I turned my attention to some nipple clamps, opening and closing them just an inch over my breasts. Every time I did it, his throat moved like he was out of saliva. I don't trust any of them to know how to handle you. I was delusional enough to get turned on by the edge in his voice. Because despite the fact that Rhyne had no qualms about letting me know he would never reciprocate my feelings, my body never learned the lesson. Rhyne Carrasco had never been a man to toy with. He was a hard ass in every sense of the word, and absolutely did not suffer fools. But in the past, before I ruined everything, he'd always indulged me. I was feeling needy enough to test whether he still would. For someone who can't stand me, seems like you are really doing a lot to be around me. I winked at him before moving on to a row of glittery paddles and crops. He just stared back with an irritatingly neutral expression on his face. His eyes never left me, though. He tracked my every move. I knew it was his job to do, but having his attention like this had me on fire. He was so fucking intense. His big body taut. A human-sized weapon of war, ready to be deployed for my safety. The thought of him protecting me, shielding me with his body, did things to mine. I could feel the wetness between my thighs, my nipples tight and tingly as I moved around the room. I wasn't delusional enough to think he was affected in the same way I was. His focus on me was purely professional. Because God forbid he ever deviated from the mission. Rhyne Carrasco, retired captain of the Toy Runner Guard, head of the security detail for the House of Gaspar, and the bane of my existence. 6 feet and 4 inches of broody, panty-dropping sexiness. And the sole reason